final story, Colin, is Jayden Daniels had to leave the game against the Panthers due to a rib injury early in the first quarter, did not return. So now he's facing the Bears on Sunday, and of course the big matchup, Caleb Williams versus Jayden Daniels. However, Dan Quinn said his quarterback is week to week.
The status for Jayden, we'll put down as week to week. As you guys know, it's a rib injury, and we'll take him through, all the steps at practice and assess how he's doing and keep working it through that. We're hopeful he can play, but we'll also make sure to take every precautionary step and do it smartly for the player and the man.
So I still haven't seen a conclusive video where he took a bad shot. I will say we noted in the season opener against the Bucs, he was running too much.
Yeah.
This guy's got to get out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I will just say, I know a lot of Washington fans remember what happened to RG3. He was having a great year and injuries, and they put him out there, injuries. Remember that Seattle playoff game? They don't want that to happen. My guess is the market's telling you that he's not going to play this week. Bears 2.5-point favorites on the road. Jayden has been better than Caleb this year. That's undeniable. I looked at the schedule. Commanders have the Giants divisional matchup next week.
You just keep him out.
That's a bigger game. I would just shut him down. Mariota, by the way, some of the advanced stats said he was one of the best quarterbacks this week. Now he's playing with a lead the whole time.
Mariota's history is he doesn't stay healthy, but Marcus can play. He just tends to be he's not reckless throwing the ball. He's reckless with his body. But Marcus Mariota has always been coachable, moves well, throws a nice ball. Yeah. He just struggles to stay healthy.
And this Bears defensive front can get feisty.
For the record, this shows you how much better Washington has run. Of all the old quarterbacks on the market that you'd want as a backup to Jayden Daniels, wouldn't you want Marcus Mariota? Stylistically, it's the same guy. I mean, that's the difference. When teams are well run, that's why we look at Miami and we're like, how do you have two as a quarterback and be horrible at backup?
Yeah.
Jayden Daniels comp, it's not perfect, but he's more Lamar Jackson. But Mariota is a little Jayden Daniels. Mature, good in the room, can throw the ball, moves. You worry a little bit about health. That's another sign that Washington, even in the backup quarterback, knows what they're doing now, finally.
We don't know if it's a broken rib, bruised rib. There's really not a lot of details.
I saw him smiling on the field when he came back out. He didn't look like broken rib guy.
No wincing or anything. If this were week 15
I'd worry.
There's a playoff, put on a flak jacket, get the hell out there and get us the win. Like, my guess is he doesn't play this week. And Bears 2.5-point favorites. I kind of like the Bears on the road off a bye.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. So it has been reported that he's going to attempt to play. He's going to attempt to practice tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday. It's going to post Friday. So by the time you watch this, maybe he's already practiced or maybe not. So, I won't talk too much about it. But it's interesting because, listen, at the end of the day, if he's not 100%, there's zero reason to rush him, right? There's zero reason to get him out there, right? You always want to be more conservative than not. Take a page out of the Packers book, right? Take a page out of the Packers book. When you have the coach, when you have the team, and you have the culture, you can throw in Malik Willis, a quarterback that people were like, I don't even need, no one needs him. He's nothing. They're able to win 2 games, right? And that's backing up Jordan Love, right? The guy who went to Dallas and steamrolled the Cowboys. So this is where, even if you lost this game, even if you lost 100-0, it wouldn't really matter. Yeah, the Chicago Bears fans and the Caleb Williams fans and the Jayden Daniels haters will be like, oh, ha, told you. But that doesn't matter, right? Winning the division matters. If we went back to the schedule to see, there's a lot of wins that let me see if I can get it. There's a lot of wins up there. So let's say you lose to the Bears for whatever reason, right? You got New York. Let's go. That should be an easy win at this point now, easier than it was in week 2. The Steelers, that'll be an interesting game. Definitely interesting. The Steelers, I'm still trying to figure out where I think about them. The Eagles, that will also be interesting, right? When you play the Eagles twice, there's probably a good chance that you'll split with them more than anything. The Cowboys at that time will be interesting. Are they fully healthy? Are they a disaster? Like, what is going on with them? I don't think the Cowboys are that good to begin with. And I've said before, I think Dan Quinn will have a major head start against the Cowboys. So that could be a win. Titans should be a win. Saints, I don't know, unless Derek Carr is coming back or what the stories with them is, but that's nothing. And then, I'm sure the Falcons will be fighting for a playoff spot. But maybe not, actually, by week 17, week 18, especially with the Bucks going down and nothing's happening with the Panthers, then the Bucks may already have their division and their seeding locked up. And so they're kind of going to, be a little bit, take their foot off the pedal. And not to say that even if they have their foot on their pedal, that you still want to be able to beat them. It's just saying that there's wins there, right? There's wins. The division is still up for grabs. The wild card is still up for grabs. So it's not like you're like, we got to get this win week 8. Otherwise we're in trouble, right? Being 5-3, not the worst thing, right? Obviously you want to be 6-2. That goes without saying, but it's just not the biggest deal at all, quite frankly. So there would be zero reason, if he's not really 100%, to kind of trot him out there, right? It's not a matter of lack of will. It's not a matter of lack of toughness. That's just not the way it goes. Jayden Daniels is going to be a special quarterback in the NFL. He already is, quite frankly. So there's just zero reason to risk that at all, quite frankly. I think this will end up being a great learning experience for him. He'll learn that he needs to take care of himself better. In that play, I've already debated this a lot, but it's just without a doubt, there was a moment where he decided to cut into the middle of the field to get those extra yards, which then ultimately led him to getting hurt when he could have went to the right, hugged the line, and could have still got a ton of yards and could have last minute step out of bounds when he was about to get hit, whatever it may be, and he didn't. He's got to learn that lesson. He's got to be conservative. I've said this a million times. I think Jayden Daniels is super, super smart, and I think that because he's so smart, because he's so good, and because he has got a great head on his shoulders, and because he's got a great coaching staff, there should be no excuses for him to take a hit. Honestly, none. He should be able to slide every single time or get out of bounds. That is the name of the game. And I said that before he ever took a snap in preseason with the Washington Commanders. That is what he needs to do. And hopefully he's going to learn that lesson, right? Hopefully he's going to understand, okay, I got to be careful here. I got to be smart because he's too good. He's too special, quite frankly, to have something like this happen, especially when it could be avoidable for sure. But at the same time, you do have Marcus Mariota, who can definitely be feisty. He's obviously no Jayden Daniels, but he's not a complete scrub either. The fact that he's been able to stay in the NFL for this long means something. It really does. It really, really does, because you have some quarterbacks that can't hang on there at all. So which means that Marcus Mariota absolutely has it in him to win games, to play good enough, because no one wants a backup quarterback who's a complete scrub, who's like, okay, yeah, we have a backup quarterback because we need one, but we can't win with that. That's not why you have a backup quarterback. Now, there's a reason why Andy Reid went out and got Carson Wentz, okay, who at the in 2016 or 17, whatever, was an actual MVP candidate before he got hurt. Okay, he was a legitimate starter in the NFL, and from my viewpoint, should still be a starter. Actually, I'm talking to Commanders fans who know Carson Wentz, who probably don't like him very much, but I promise you. So, Andy Reid could have gotten some nobody, but he went out and got Carson Wentz. That means something, right? It does. Sean McVay went out and got Carson Wentz as well. What was another good example? Shanahan went out and got Sam Darnold. Kevin O'Connell got Sam Darnold. So, like, good coaches, great coaches understand the importance of a backup quarterback. And when you are a true bona fide backup quarterback, usually it means that you can still have moments where you can play great, where you can legitimately win some games. It's not, I don't know what to do, I just have to hand the ball off every time. Like, that's not who Marcus Mariota is. Could you start him 17 games and have him go undefeated and go into the playoffs and win a Super Bowl? No, you can't. Can he go and let's say Jayden was down for 3 games, which I'm not saying he is, but let's just say, can we get behind him and win 2 out of those 3 games? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn at the helm. Especially. So I think, like, that's also why, again, like I said earlier in this clip, look at the Packers. Look what they did with Matt LaFleur, an unbelievable coach, and Malik Willis and the Packers. Great coach, great culture, good enough quarterback. Boom, come out and get some wins. What do we have with the Commanders? Great coach, great coordinator, great culture. Boom, let's go. So in one way, I'm like fascinated to see what the Commanders look like with Marcus Mariota and letting Jayden Daniels rest up, just because I think it would force the other players to rise to the occasion. And that's what I saw with the Packers. And that's why the Packers really earned a lot of points with me, because they all rose to the occasion to help support Malik Willis, right? Like it went a very long way. And I was like, okay, that's good. That's the mark of a team that's ready to go. That's like I kept calling it family building and not just team building. That's what happens when you get behind a backup quarterback like this. So either way, it's a win-win situation. To me, quite frankly. But obviously, of course, you want Jayden Daniels to play. You want him to be healthy. You want to see him ball out, go head-to-head with Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Sounds like we're probably not going to get that, but at this point, who honestly knows? And if he does play, how really healthy is he? Is he 80%, 85, 90, 95? Honestly, like I said, I have no idea, and neither do you. No one does, honestly, but Jayden, and probably only like 2 or 3 people even within the Commanders organization actually know who he is and in terms of his health. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jayden Daniels? Should he play? Should he not play? Any concerns for him just moving forward? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.